I'm Jennifer. I'm going to be sharing screen now because we have some fun things ahead. Thank you guys for joining us for the 2024 new model review. So let me know if you guys can see everything. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So here we go. All right. So just to share a little bit about Hawaii EV, I know that seems like everybody's kind of like a familiar face. And just to refresh everyone, we're a grassroots organization really trying to help Hawaii focus on sustainable transportation through electrification. So to advocate for EV adoption, educate people, and help dealers really be educated as well to help sell and service EVs. And we really want to work on, of course, expanding our charging opportunities. I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. And then maybe do we want to do
meetings with you?
I'm sorry. Oh,
we might need to mute ourselves. Yeah.
And then so maybe, as I mentioned, I'm Jennifer. I'm a volunteer. Noel, do you want to give a quick intro of yourself?
Yeah, Noel Morin. I am one of the founders of Hawaii EV, also involved on Big Island EV Association. I know we have a few Big Island EVers here, so yeah, happy to be here. Nanette?
Hi, I'm Nanette Vinton, also one of the founders of Hawaii EV and on the board, and also the founder of the Tesla Hawaii Club.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So moving forward, we have a few really interesting EV stats. Noel, do you want to share some about the EV stats?
Yeah. Let's do this. Actually, for every talk story, we'll try to bring the latest. So we try to do this on a monthly basis, and we'll bring this to you each time. And by the way, this is being recorded, so we can share this with the rest of the community who's not able to participate here. So Jen looked at the latest stats from DBET, and we note as of September, I think this is October, right? October stats. We have over 28,000 registered EVs in the state, and that was an increase of 480 from the month previous, and over 6,600 from the same period last year. So 31% over a year, which is fairly impressive. Now, the fact is that we're still under. I used to say, oh, we're under 1%. Now we're like 2.6% of the over a million registered cars that we have in the state, and obviously we have a long ways to go. That's improving, but the over a million cars in the state still consume about 35 million of gallons of gasoline each month, which is an incredible amount. It highlights the dependency we have on fossil, and it also highlights the emissions contribution that our gas cars are contributing to the atmosphere each month. We threw in hybrids as well. I mean, not everybody's able to drive an electric vehicle, which, by the way, includes plug-in hybrids and fuel cell electrics. But the hybrids, we have about 27,000 of those in the state. So between the two EVs and registered hybrids, we have about like 5% or so of the vehicles in the state are clean or cleaner. So that's where we're at. Do either of you have any comments, or anyone have comments about the adoption rate or questions?
I think one important note, and it's something that's been changing over the years as new models are coming out. But we heard, I think, a couple of weeks ago from Tesla that there's 13,000 Teslas in the state, and before that, Teslas were kind of the majority before all these new models came out. So it's interesting just to see how that dynamic is shifting. And you're seeing a lot of different, there's tons of Teslas out there, but you're also seeing all the new ones coming out. So I think that's kind of exciting to see.
Oh, but by the way, with the Teslas being so dominant, we're also seeing at some point, we're already seeing superchargers being deployed on Oahu. And I know there's effort here on Hawaii Island to have one or two, right, Hilo and Kona, and also on Maui. So at some point, we're going to start to see superchargers installed to support these cars. But as you know, a number of the other manufacturers are eventually going to also be able to use these superchargers. So it's good news all the way around.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nanette. That was helpful. So I know that we're mostly here to see some new models and kind of give our feedback. So I just want to kick it off and have Nanette start and share.
Yeah, so I think we've got about 15 or 16 slides here with new models. And this is like really casual. I mean, we're in no way experts on these cars. Maybe I can talk a little bit more about Tesla on the Tesla side, but so we're just kind of going to go through it, and then if you have comments, then we can just discuss after, or even while we're showing the slides. Actually, maybe we'll just go through the slides, and then if anybody wants to we can kind of go back. Just so you can see what's coming, because then you might be wondering, oh, wait, what about this car and this car? So we'll just go through these slides really quick to see what we're going to talk about, and then we can just circle back around and go through each one in case people have comments, or if we need to pull up, the website that talks more about these cars. So let me just go through these really quick. Oh, you're okay. So the first one we have is the cute little Fiat 500e, one of the more affordable EVs, at 30,000 estimated is price and 160 miles. And Noel did put in the website to that.
Yeah, so I will just say that for many of us in Hawaii, especially on the other, not the Big Island, the other islands where the commutes are really, really short, this may actually be, or especially in Oahu, right, Jen, with the tight parking and all that stuff. It would seem that something like this would be, would provide a lot of utility, not unlike what we're seeing in Europe, right, where you have congestion, you have narrow roads, and all that. So anyway, I just wanted to comment.
And that's a good segue into the next one, which is.
So the next
I think
one
it's the next one. Is a Mini Cooper coming up? Is that next?
It sure is.
Yeah. So Jen, I mean, you just got a new Mini Cooper.
I sure did.
So if you want to talk about that a little bit, and how you decided upon that car.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Annette. So, I was in the market for a new car, and there was a campaign a few years ago that's saying like my next car is going to be electric. And keeping that in mind, I was thinking, okay, I want to get something EV. I have a super, super tiny parking stall where I live. I live in an apartment with no charging. So I was like, I need something that's going to be like fiscally economical, but also like fit in my car stall and be able to do my day to day. So I really chose this because I looked at some other models, and not only was there really good like mileage for myself, and I mean, mind you, I'm on Oahu, my commutes are very short and small, but I needed something that will get me to point A, point B without a whole lot of like I feel like if I had a truck, I probably wouldn't be able to like navigate very easily with all the parking situations that I have. So this was a really good purchase. They have a special, I think, and I'm not like promoting any specific vehicle, but that's what kind of like helped me lean to this purchase, was because they offered a $9,900 discount off of their original price, which is what I think ends up to be the 3,200 or 32,000, excuse me, price. But yeah, they had really good service.
Does it have? I don't. Well, I think I know the answer to this, but it's not covered by the federal tax credit, right?
No, it is not. It's not. But I mean, I still think it's a really good deal, and like I think I only charge like every 3 days or so. I mean, I use my car every day. It's just really nice because I was driving a car without AC, you guys, and it was so life changer. Air conditioned.
Nice.
All right. So Noel, do you have any comments on this guy?
So I saw, actually, I know we had listed this at 2024. They're starting to come out, but I think we did see this at the last National Drive Electric Week event at the mall, and it's a fairly large. It's a large vehicle. I'm not too keen on the shape overall, but I'm really impressed by the range. Right, they go like over 300 miles, 360 miles. And by the way, if anyone has experience with this or comments, feel free to chime in as well.
There was one at our Drive Electric Week. One of our sorry, my dogs are barking. One of our Tesla club members, the wife picked up one, and it was actually 500-mile range.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah. It's 500 miles. So there's quite a big difference from her 2017 Model S. But it was a nice car. Yeah, I liked the inside. I'm a minimalist, so like all the knobs and stuff to me are still kind of like weird to me. But it's pretty nice inside. Yeah, and I got to drive it too. It was fun. It's got that acceleration and everything. So.
Yeah, these Korean car, the Hyundais and the Kias, they're, it used to be that, they're like, from a quality perspective, you would think, but that they would be there, but they're the fit and finish, and also the warranties, right? I mean, it's just pretty decent, very very attractive in terms of the overall package.
I believe that the Ioniq 6 is the same powertrain as my car, the Kia EV6, and it has about 300 miles of range. I don't believe that they make one that has a 500-mile range. I'm going to look that up right now.
Yeah, if you find something, do let us know. We want to make that verbal correction on our recording here. So I thought I saw a snippet of a familiar vehicle. Was that the Tesla?
This old thing, yeah. Do you guys know what that is?
Is that the refresh? Nanette,
Yes,
is that the refresh?
Yeah, this is the refresh, right? So the refresh, I mean, believe it or not, the Model 3 is 5 years old, right? So it was due for a refresh. And this is like the pivotal car for Tesla. I mean, actually kept the company in business, and this was a big milestone for them. To release a more affordable car. Now you just see them everywhere. So they did do a refresh. It's not available yet in the US. It's in Europe and China, I believe, in Asia. And like little body styles, and there's some interior changes that there's some Tesla people that know like every little intricate detail that is changed. But just know, it's been refreshed from 5 years ago. So just like with the Model X, I have a Model X, and Noel just got another Model X as well. I mean, just the quality of the cars has improved so much since those initial models come out. So I think it'll come out. I'm assuming it'll come out in North America sometime next year. The actual refresh for this car.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody else has been following. This new model, the Highland, or they call it Highland.
It's a very, I like the fact that it's compact, right? Like when I got my Model S 2014, it was because that was the only thing that was out there that met my expectations. But if there was a smaller model, I would have gotten it, and that would have been the Model 3. So this also looks like the Ioniq 6 has over 300-mile range, according to Lauren. What was I going to say? Oh, it also qualifies for the federal tax credit, the $7,500 tax credit. By the way, Nanette, do you know if starting next year, if that would be a point of sale discount for Tesla? I know it's for the other dealers.
I don't know if they've confirmed it.
Okay.
I would think they would do that because they want to keep their sales up, so they want to make it attractive as they can. So
yeah.
But I don't think I've seen anything confirming that yet.
Yeah, and just for those who may not be familiar, so starting next year, so this at this point in time, if you, depending on your tax situation, you may be able to, and also the vehicle that you purchase, you may be able to get a $7,500 tax credit on the purchase. Starting next year, there's the opportunity to get it as a point of sale discount. So you actually at the front end are able to reduce your your investment. Again, it's for certain EV models, not all EVs.
One other thing about the Tesla next year, there's a possibility that it may not qualify for the full 7,500. We don't know yet.
Do you know why that might be?
The battery rules are a little stricter for next year, so that might be an issue.
Okay. Thanks for raising that.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So what do we have next?
Oh, okay. Well, we have the 2024 BMW i5, which is a nice day-to-day car looks like, where you can go pretty far.
Yeah, range is, it's like whenever you see something under 200, it's like, okay, that's almost like the expectation, right?
Yeah.
And is it the i4 that's out there today? I think it's the BMW i4. I think we've seen that in our car shows, right? And that car is already fairly hefty. I mean, size-wise. So this is probably like even bigger, like a much bigger vehicle. So if one needs space, this might be it. But I don't think this is not covered by the federal tax credits at this point.
It is not. But I have a friend that has the 2023 model of this one, and like he thoroughly enjoys it. He said it's great for golf.
Is it an i5 or an i4?
I think it's the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the i4 is almost like the Model S, if I'm not mistaken, size-wise. Very, very similar.
Yeah. Any comments, thoughts? All right. Then we have the 2024 Chevy Equinox. Do we know, like, if this, the rebate would cover this one as well, guys?
It should.
I think so, because it's American.
Yeah, it should. This was supposed to kind of be the replacement for the Chevy Bolt, if I'm not mistaken. But the Chevy Bolt lives on, and we don't have it on this list because I think in 2025 it's going to be brought back out as a refresh. But this would be a little bigger, obviously, than the Chevy Bolt and also the Chevy Bolt EUV. So for Chevy fans out there, this would be an option. I put the link in the chat. I'm not too fond of the color scheme, but imagine it was your favorite color. And pricing, if it's truly starting at 35,000, I think that's a fairly attractive vehicle, especially for the range and the tax.
Are they selling the Bolt again? I mean, I know they're going to bring it back, but I don't know if it's
still back. I read that it was going to be it was still around, and it's going to be they're going to start either manufacturing or there's going to be a refresh for 2025. So it's going not this year but the year after. And if anyone has any insight on that, feel free to share.
Can I have a
sorry. Ahead. Does anybody know if the Equinox is a bigger car than the Model 3?
I don't know.
We can open the link.
Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. It's easy enough to find out.
Yeah, there's a link.
I put the link in the chat. Yeah.
And I have a question for you. Does any Chevy fans out there know if Chevy is still going to include putting in a free charger or a free charger like they did with the Bolt with these Chevy Equinoxes?
Don't know. But these the dealerships and the manufacturers, they constantly have these different incentives, and I think Lauren, was it the Hyundai or the Kia that had a if you purchased it, you actually got actually it was the Hyundai. If you purchase it from Big Island Motors, they actually included a level 2 charger. So
yeah, I got a charge point and smart charger, real nice one, free. And my friend bought a Chevy Bolt, and they said that they would give her $500 credit for the installation of a level 2 charger. I've installed chargers, and sometimes it takes a half hour. And so Chevy sent out a licensed electrician and gave her a quote of $5,000, not including the charger. So it wasn't much of a promotion, that $500.
Maybe it required like no new infrastructure,
new transformer,
right? Or wiring and all that stuff. Yeah,
a new foundation made out of titanium, I think. Yeah. But the car itself, the Chevy Bolt, it's a very nice small car.
Yeah.
Just to give you some feedback on that charging or the cost of adding the EV charger at the house. If you've got a 100 amp service, and your panel is taken up, you've got to have a 40 amp breaker for that charger at least. So it could be that the cost for that upgrade was to go and put a 200 amp service in there, which involves utility and also a new service.
Not according to the quote.
Okay. Well, there's different things that you got to deal with. So it's hard to say without knowing all the details.
Yeah. Okay, what do we have up next? The Blazer EV. So this vehicle. I'm trying to find the link so I can put it in the chat here. This was supposed to come out like this year. Clearly, it's a 2024, and Chevy has had some production issues. But this is very interesting because, and I'm putting on my work hat on here. They actually have a police pursuit version of this SUV, and there's one state agency that's actually looking to purchase some of these for their police fleet. So it's an interesting model. So, and if anyone's interested in an SUV, this is a possibility, and it's a Chevy. So we expect that the $7,500 tax credit would apply to this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, if I may, I just come across the BYD Leopard 5, and it's a very, very competitive with this. Mind you, it's a BYD. We won't see these on island anytime soon, but from what I've been able to tell, their entry levels are around $42,000, and it's off-road capable and has air suspension even. So, and lots of horsepower.
Does anyone know what BYD stands for?
Bring your dreams.
Is it bring or build?
Build.
Correct. Build your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting company. Started out as a battery company. Now it's automotive and a lot of other things.
Yeah. And it's probably they probably sell a lot more than any other manufacturer out there globally. So, Yep. Oh. Did we lose the screen share?
Yeah. There we go.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened.
It's all right.
But we're back.
This is casual, right? This is casual. Casual Thursday.
Casual Thursday. All right. So, okay, you talked about
any Acura fans out there? So this is Acura is what? Is Honda's premium badge? Is that right? Yeah. So it looks like Honda's getting in the game now. This would probably represent one of their first EVs, if I'm not mistaken. Pure battery electric.
Isn't this based on the Chevy?
Looks kind of like it, right?
It looks very similar.
The Equinox.
The
Honda and the Acura are based on the Equinox.
Interesting. Interesting. Can you go back to the Equinox?
Yeah.
And maybe even the Blazer.
Right?
But yeah, there's some similarities there. It's interesting.
Too far back. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. So what do you guys think about the BMW X2?
So
I like the front a lot better. I don't know if you guys like the grill, the newish grill that they have, but this looks nicer.
So is this kind of like, this would be like the size of like their X1, their smallest crossover, I guess. Or whatever isn't it an X1? Or
it's
a 3 Series, like a 1 Series. Don't they have like a 1 Series on the gas car side?
It's it's definitely smaller, but
I think it's like smaller.
Yeah, so people looking for something more compact, easily maneuvered and parked.
Yeah, and BMW's always been really supportive of all of our events, bringing their cars down. So hopefully next year, they'll have some of these new models that they can bring so people can see them in person.
It's got a great range for a small vehicle.
Absolutely. All right, let's see what we have next. The Honda Prologue.
So does this look like so Honda and Acura, same company, right? So is this like
No,
this
I'm seeing the Chevy and everything, right? They're all starting to look alike now.
Yeah, SUV.
With, yeah.
And one thing you'll notice too is that, and it's kind of a disappointment as far as I'm concerned, is that the more affordable units, you still don't see them, right? You see these are all like 30, 40, 50 and above. So at some point, we'll start to see, like, I know even Tesla's talking about a affordable Tesla, but as we start to see new cars under like under 30,000 or even low 20,000, I think that's going to be a boon for all of us. Log, where's that? Any comment from anybody?
My buddy in England just bought a Nissan work van, 100-mile range, $21,000. It looks like the old Leaf on the front end, but it has a square cabin, a square container in the back.
Huh. And it's a van, like a work van?
It's more like a work van, like a utility vehicle.
Interesting. EV9. So what is this? Is it like a third row, like a huge SUV?
It's a larger SUV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3-row. It's a big vehicle.
So, Lauren, do you know anything about this, given that you're Mr. Kia?
Well, I think it's going to be coming to the dealerships really soon. I know that they come out with an EV4, which is a small version of the Kia, and I don't know if it's coming here or not. And the dealers, I usually know more and inform the dealers than they know. So, but the EV4 looks like it's short, smaller range, much smaller vehicle, and way more affordable.
Yeah, if this is truly 56, well, it's starting at 56 for a large SUV, right? I mean, you'll hear me say this, and sometimes I'll sound like a hypocrite based on what I drive, but right sizing your purchase, right, is important. So if you do need a large SUV because you've got, you're transporting people, you've got a big family, etc., this might be a good option.
It's 3-row seating.
Yeah, I would imagine so, because it's huge, right? Based on the fact that it's an EV9. They just as they go up in number, it just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it seems like it has the same power plant because it starts at 230-mile range. I know that my car, when I got the sticker, it said 247-mile range, but all the people that I know that have them get over 300. And our Nero 2 was getting like 60 miles more than what the sticker stated range is.
So they're under promising and over delivering.
Yeah,
what a concept, huh? What do you drive? EV6, right? EV6, yeah.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I think it's the best looking EV, actually.
Everybody has their opinion.
Well, I mean, the road's pretty sharp, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is a great car. Yeah. And I like, by the way, Lauren would come to our Big Island EV events, and he would offer to plug in, electronics, like our sound system into his car, because he's got the outlet to support that.
Yeah, I think the Ford truck has that also as a built-in inverter. I can actually power my house when the hell goes down.
Yeah, vehicle to load.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
Now, speaking of the EV6, I saw one yesterday that was a beautiful gray color. And that's something Tesla, I think, their colors are kind of boring, quite honestly. They should step it up a little bit and get into some of these other colors.
Ooh.
Well, what they're doing is they're offering.
They're starting to do wraps now.
Yeah.
They're going to do a wraps, color wraps, right?
Very pricey though, right? It's like $7,000 to wrap the car. I mean,
well, it's actually a PPF and it's the whole car, so it's not just like a vinyl color wrap. So I mean, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
to what you would pay. I mean, and it wraps the inside too. I mean, the interior door wells and everything. So,
Yeah.
so we'll see if it comes here. I mean, I don't like our service center. I don't think has the capacity to handle, that extra load or that extra work. So
I heard they're just trialing that in California first, and then they'll make some decisions about if they'll run it out to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, so when we see all those multicolored Teslas, those are like custom wraps, then I'm assuming.
Those are
Yeah. We have one of our Model S owners here. He's a track star, I'll say. He's got the iridescent, film on his car. Yeah. Here's the Ionic.
Yeah, the Ionic. I remember when I was shopping, everyone was like, "You need to get this one." But again, the parking situation was hard for me.
do you know what's new about it? Because it's been out, right? So there's a 5N. Do you know what that means?
The N is their performance brand that they put on their cars.
So that's why you have the red treatment. The calipers are painted and all that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, the Kia EV6 had a performance GT model as well. So, Hyundai, Kia, their brother sister organizations.
Yeah, Russell, one of our members, got a GT EV6, and Lauren, I think you helped him. You helped to convince him to move there, right?
Yeah, I didn't suggest the GT. He bought the GT because he wanted a blue car, and he didn't realize that the seats are kind of uncomfortable, and the range is lower because of the high performance motor and inverter.
Yeah. So that's one interesting thing. Some of these, as you if you go to a performance model, same thing with all these vehicles. You've got a larger inverter. You're not going to have as much range, right? And many of them will have low profile tires, and they're not going to be as efficient as just the standard wheel configuration. So if you're into performance, you'll kind of eat it a little bit with the actual total range for the vehicle. And Elvia, yes, we are going to we are recording this, and we will post it. So what do we have next?
This is Jim Donovan over in Waikolo. I just joined in. One of the things I see in all the new cars, whether they're electric or not, is color choices are almost nothing. Everything seems to be white, silver, or black, and then the interiors. So many black interiors. I don't know about the rest of you, but I really don't like having a black interior here in Hawaii.
Maybe they're just trying to drive up tint sales. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I think like the BMW and the Mercedes, I think those still have all those that one brownish color, and I think they have more choices. Tesla has like three choices. It's like beige, white, and black, basically.
I can remember, like in the 1950s, if you bought a green Chevrolet, it had a green interior and so forth. And it's just like all the manufacturers have copped out to black or silver. I'm glad to hear there's a beige, so that there's at least something that's a warmer tone in some of the models. But I really encourage all the manufacturers to take a look at that. It's not the old Henry Ford days. You can have any color as long as it's black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good feedback.
Thanks, Jen. So what do we have up?
Oops! Whoa!
By the way, Jeff. By the way, just to tell you who I am, I bought myself a used Kia Soul in 2016. I guess they just did the electric Kia Soul for a couple of years, and I was lucky enough to find someone who had a condo down in the Waikoloa Beaches areas, and when they sold their condo, they had a Kia that only had 14,000 miles on it, and I picked it up before the craze of electric cars. I've got 50,000 miles on it. My only beef is that it does have modest range. I'm really only getting about 80 miles to it, which is good enough for my stuff here on the west side of the island. And by the way, I just also want to say something about Kia's warranty. That actually I had a battery that began to not perform well, and the warranty got me a brand new battery. I feel like I got a new car. I'm very pleased with the Kia brand, and as far as all electric cars, my experience is that since we don't have all those explosions happening that are even at an idle of a gasoline car, we don't have all those rattles and squeaks that come as a result of explosions. So I don't have a squeaky glove compartment door or this or that on it, and that's my take on electric. That's really a very positive thing in my life.
Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing. Any Mercedes fans? This is kind of pricey. Starting at over 100,000.
Well,
right?
it's the. I mean, how fast is this thing going to be? It's an AMG.
Well, I was thinking too, you must really you have to really like Mercedes, I think, to get this vehicle. And, there are those fans out there, but yeah, I kind of thought it was an interesting, what you're getting and the mileage and all that stuff. It was an interesting mix.
Well, I mean, this is their premium sedan or, AMG, right? So.
Do you know
But
if
it looks kind of small. It looks small.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do you know if they have any affordable Mercedeses, or are they like all really pricey? It's like a premium brand, right?
I feel like they're kind of all pricey. Like I've seen some in
the
real
little
life
SUV and they're in that $100,000 range. Sorry.
Okay.
I had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago when I was on the mainland. My nephew had his father-in-law over who had just bought a new Mercedes. I think it was more of a top of the line. It seemed to me it was larger than the one I'm looking at here, white. But I'll tell you, it was pretty fabulous. He said he had paid like $189,000 for it, and of course that's out of my budget. But wow, it was quite an automobile to drive.
Interesting. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to, but yeah, that sounds kind of cool. All right. Hyundai Santa Fe. This is actually I feel like you get a lot of cars, but not a whole lot of miles.
Yeah, it's a plug-in
it's a plug-in.
It is a plug-in. It is a plug-in, but
hybrid,
still,
yeah.
I don't know.
So we were kind of debating, should we have pure electrics in this discussion? A plug-in hybrid is an electric vehicle, and in some instances, this is maybe the best solution for somebody, right? We have a lot of residents who live in condos and apartments, and they may not have access to charging infrastructure. So some of the plug-in hybrids may actually be beneficial. The all-electric range is only 31 miles, but many commutes that we have are just about that per day. So that could also satisfy most of the needs. So anyway, if there are any SUV fans out there for Hyundai, I'm not really sure. It looks like a large vehicle. Is it a 6-row or 3-row vehicle?
This is definitely a larger one. It looked like.
I'm looking at the specs. There's 3 rows.
Yeah.
So it's pretty big. So actually, 31 miles might be pretty good. It's a heavy car.
True.
And the last one
Mazda.
is Mazda. So Mazda is interesting, right? Well, did they come up with? Don't they have already an EV, or was there an EV that they came up with?
I don't think so. Not that I know of, because I remember I was trying to when I was shopping, I was like, oh, Mazda's a good mid brand, and then I was trying to find something EV, and they were at the time all gas.
Well,
but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think there may have been an all electric, but the range was really, really low for a new car. So you would think you would have at least 150 miles or so, and they had I don't know, it was less than 100 for a new EV.
They have MX-30.
What was yeah.
Oh, this is looks like it came out this year. Put it in the chat.
Thanks, guys. Ooh, package and pricing. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the MX-30.
So
right?
they do have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
2023. Yeah, just came out.
Saving the best for last.
What is that?
This is it'll be interesting to see. The Cybertruck, the delivery event is on the 30th in Austin. So they haven't released pricing or anything yet, other than to people who are probably picking up their cars. And rumors are the first ones are, like close to 100,000, which is not surprising. Tesla always releases the higher priced the cars first. So it'll be interesting to see what they offer. Like, are they going to offer the wraps? Is that why they're doing the wraps for the 3s to kind of test that out in their service centers? Will they offer this kind of wrap, or there's a matte black one out there. They even had one that was like a Ford. They disguised it as like the Ford Lightning on the back end and everything.
That's what I was saying. For all the people who are like, I want different colors, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard that. I heard just the other day, someone heard from the service tech that there is someone in Hawaii and they're processing their order right now. So I don't know where. They have a really, really early order. It's probably a big shareholder. So I don't know what island, but we might see one running around here in Hawaii, somewhere out in the wild this year.
Was the person's first name Nanette?
I want to find out who it is. And
Maybe
as
Santa
far as
will
like
come over.
it'll be interesting to see what the pricing is. I mean, back in 2019, it was going to be like 40s or whatever in the 50s. So I think there probably will be like a $60,000 version, or even cheaper eventually. But I'm thinking the first ones are going to be kind of pricey.
Well, if you're short on parking space, these are big vehicles.
These are huge. I mean, they can't even fit in the garage.
Well, they're the size of the length of a F-150, right?
Yeah, it's a Lightning size. I mean, there's like no way I could drive it like in parking garage downtown Honolulu.
Yeah. So again, it's a question of utility. Like, do you need a truck? Do you need a truck? Does it meet your requirements? Is it the Ford F-150 Lightning? Is it the Chevy Silverado? Is it the Dodge Ram? I'd swerve away from the Dodge Ram. So the Ram, we don't have it here, but it's got a range extender. So and they advertise it as having infinite range. Of course, you've got a range extender, right? So they've got an engine in the car to charge the battery. But this thing has a V6 engine as a range extender. It's like just get a regular truck, and you'll have a lower carbon footprint and all that. So it's interesting to see what manufacturers are doing. At the end of the day, if we're really concerned about pocketbook, about the environment, about wear and tear on the roads, and your tire expenses, etc. It's like buy the right vehicle. This may actually fulfill the need of some local businesses or some individuals, but clearly it's not like a commute car or a soccer parent car.
Yeah, I agree. I was most recently, when I was on the mainland, there was in the parking lot, there was a new Lightning. It's a huge car.
Yeah.
It's definitely not, to go to the local grocery store or pick up the kids kind of car. It's you got to have, to your point, an appropriate purpose.
Yeah, it's got to have utility, right? So a good example, I had to pick up a hot tub cover from the port, and I thought, I might be able to fit it in the car. Just put the seats down and open the back, it'll fit. And we got there, and it was just huge. I couldn't. So I had to ask my brother with his truck to come and pick it up, right? So if you're a contractor, you're your local business, you've got stuff to haul, lumber to transport, etc. You're going to need a truck. So it's all about utility and what you're willing to pay for, and we encourage right sizing. Anyway,
there was actually someone at our Drive Electric Earth Day event at Kahala Mall. He's a contractor, and he said even the Lightning and the Cybertruck, he said it's not long enough for his purposes for him to haul certain equipment. So he's waiting for the extra king cab or whatever the bigger trucks are. But he's like, yeah, for some contractors, it's still not enough.
What are they hauling?
So
like,
I don't know.
Like I can't imagine.
It's like, get a semi truck. No, I don't know.
No, you have trucks out there that have like 8-foot beds, right? And a lot
So that's what he was looking for, like the extra long.
Yeah. So these are generally like local businesses. They transport stuff. We have a state customer, and they transport like these like garbage cans. And if they had like a 5.5-foot bed, it wouldn't meet their need. They need like an 8-footer, right? So there are situations where that would be warranted.
Maybe they can do a car share, like collectively car share when needed.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. Actually, that's I know we have software solutions out there that allow for. I mean, you've got ride shares, but also car shares. Business idea. Anyway, so do we have anything beyond this?
We do have one more slide, but it's the last of vehicles. It's
last
the last of
car.
vehicles. Yeah, but we have some things coming up. Does anybody have any like comments or any feedback or things that you want to see? Because I know that there are more. Like, we didn't want to bombard everybody with like too many options. We wanted to kind of like give you guys a taste, like dim sum style.
I would like.
And I think like as far as the this is not a new car because it's already out there. Actually, it would be new to Hawaii because you have to bring it in from the mainland. But the Rivians, right? The Rivian trucks. So they've already announced next year they're going to have a service center on Oahu. So you're going to see more of those running around. So to me, it's kind of like new to Hawaii because you'll be able to take delivery of one here. So to me, that's an interesting truck too, because it's not huge like the Cybertruck, but it's still a good size. It's like Tacoma size, could fit in the garage, right? So that's another truck too that's out there.
I'd love to see like a smallish truck, like the Tacoma size, like the Maverick. The Maverick has a like a hybrid version, right? So just that smallish truck would also be ideal to see. And of course, affordable, like really affordable, smaller affordable vehicles. Hopefully we'll see more of those in the future.
Well, it sounds like you're waiting for the canoe, Noel. It starts at just under 40.
I like that car.
And
I've always liked how that car looks.
Yeah, and it's kind of a Swiss Army knife of trucks. There's all sorts of little doors and cabinets. The rear gate that is the bed will open up, and then you can slide out another 2.5 feet to make it an 8-foot bed.
Wow.
It's really innovative. Again, it's a little bit like a Swiss Army knife because there's all these little features to it. However, Canoe, they're in the middle of setting up their factory. So they are in Oklahoma. They've gotten some rebates from the state of Oklahoma. And I really hope them success. They've got a neat product there. With a pickup truck, they also have delivery vans, and they have something called a lifestyle vehicle, which they can, you can change it into like an ambulance or a taxi. It's very versatile.
Excellent.
But it has yet to come.
Soon enough.
We haven't talked about the and it's supposed to be coming soon. And it's not like too practical of a car, but the Aptera, right? Isn't that supposed to be coming out relatively soon?
Is that supposed to be like a neighborhood vehicle,
it's like
or is it?
Yeah, it's like a 3-wheeler. But I mean, there's been so much. A lot of people have promoted over the years, and I think at the was it the EV Association?
Yeah, they had a
conference last year. They had it at their facility, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be just interesting to see like one come up.
And it's solar,
see, like,
right?
One
like,
here.
Yeah, it has a solar panel on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe we might start seeing, or at least see one or two here.
Yeah.
Because I think there are some ambassadors, and they call them ambassadors, of people who are kind of promoting.
What are they
I've
at?
been
Like about
promoting them over the years.
40,000 or something like that?
I'm not sure.
You would imagine they would
There's
be.
different batteries you can buy,
Yeah.
so you have different ranges. Although that would make it up my friend's dirt driveway.
Well,
Kind of rutted.
Unless it flies, right?
Yeah.
Do they have like the hovercraft version of it? No, just kidding.
Well, supposedly Aptera was going to have an off-road version of their car, so maybe it will go up the rutted road.
Interesting.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, Volvo. I just saw a YouTube on the Volvo EM90, which is like the, I think it's targeted towards the Chinese Asian luxury van market. I'll share that link in the chat.
Okay. Jen, do we have one more slide?
We actually do. So, whoops. At the end here, we want everyone to save the date for our next chat, which will be on Friday, January 12th, which is the second Friday of the month. And we want to kind of talk really quickly in the time we have left about timing, because I know that we have about 14 people on this call, which we're really excited about, but we'd be curious to know, like, is this time good for you folks, or would you guys be interested in like having something later, like in the afternoon/evening? I know many people are working from home, but some people, we're trying to also like just have more people join the call and participate. And so in case people have thoughts, we would love to hear them now.
One thing we might do is, and I think you mentioned this before, is we can do a poll, right? We can do a poll with, we can send it out to like the membership and also on social, get a better sense for.
We're definitely going to do that for sure.
Yeah. Looks like
and if you
Lauren
haven't
is,
already, please follow us on the Instagram, the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, all the things.
and by the way, if you start to notice that there's a theme and like a brand presence and a sort of like a certain look and feel and tone, it's because of Jenn. So she's leading up the effort at the Hawaii EV, call it properties, right? Facebook page, LinkedIn, Instagram, and maybe even Twitter or X. But the idea is that we would be able to create a very holistic approach and brand. And then all the other properties, all the other social media channels, we would continue doing what we're doing. So she scolded me multiple times now for posting on Instagram when I shouldn't be. And I'm saying that publicly so that in case you see something off, that would just be because I made a mistake. Okay. So we're close to wrapping up here. This is going to be published on our YouTube channel, and we'll put it on our websites and also send it out via email. If you have any ideas for topics, things that you'd like to see, feel free to let us know, and we'll see what we can do to bring that up. We're going to try to do this every month, December being an exception because of the holidays.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks again for joining.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Aloha.
Aloha. Bye.